Alright. She looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next to her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax, you didn't do anything, but I could tell you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How were you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot, so it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. It's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a bit off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh? That's quite romantic. Eh? Sorry, I didn't mean to say anything stupid. It's not that, I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have been friends for a long time, that's all. I see. Then perhaps it's unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into it a little bit too much. Phil-sama, the world is full of meaning and often deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold stories behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. So you think that there may be something behind it after all? Well, I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms are on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside of her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too, and I also feel some concern. But in your case, I looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that's the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends is all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold, even to themselves. And you as someone honest and caring may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is, I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own, I am good at understanding my own feelings. I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah, I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Okay, everyone, after some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything's back to normal and everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Okay. Well done, Phil-sama. You've definitely improved your writing over the course of these few days. Has my advice been helpful to you? Yeah, definitely. I'm glad. Sharing our writing like this, it's a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember to thank Monica. I think we all felt a little awkward at first, but now it seems like everyone is enjoying sharing their writing and seeing what others think. I guess I can't really disagree. I was afraid this whole thing would be a chore, but it's a great way for me to spend some personal time with all the girls in the club. But it's been fun getting to know everyone and their writing. And I guess doing some writing myself? Well, have you learned anything about yourself, Phil-sama? Eh? Well, you know how I like to say that writing is a very personal way to get in touch with yourself. In the end, it doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. Even my opinions are just opinions, you know? As always, I believe that what's most important is exploring and discovering yourself. That's comforting. I'm kind of afraid of disappointing you in some way or another. Eh? Why me? Well, you're always sophisticated with your writing and have the most advice to share. Is that so? Yuri thinks for a good minute. That must be terrible. Eh? For me to have become someone whose opinion is fearsome. How unlikable of me. Was it fearsome or tiresome? Now I'm not sure what the word was. Shit. Yuri. It's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. It just meant that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry that I always overthink and become to those sorts of conclusions. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Being disliked? Yuri. What am I saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. Alright, do you want to show your poem now? Okay, here. Beach. A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of Earth chaotically meets the surface, under a clear blue sky. An expanse of bliss, but beneath gray rolling clouds and endless enigma, the easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet, but where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundations until you give in, or will a sudden wave send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same, yet we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish in the sand. The salty air is therapeutic. The breeze is gentle yet powerful. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Turn back, and I abandon my piece to erode at the shore. Drift forward, and I return to Earth forevermore. I'm aware that the beach is kind of an inane thing to write about, but I did my best to make a metaphorical approach to it. You say that like you didn't even want to write about it. Oh, you haven't heard? After yesterday, Natsuki and I, well, it was amusing that we wrote about something similar in such different ways. So Natsuki wanted us to write about the same topic as each other again. As opposed to better compare the differences in our writing styles or thought processes. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she wanted to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with a request. But, well, I suppose it's not so bad to write about something simple on occasion. It can be refreshing, you know? It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Yeah, I agree. Thanks for sharing. Alright, keep going. Shout out to Bosley Fred, who cheered and said, save the best poem for last. You know who's the waifu of poems. Well, it's too late. Finally, eh? This one, it's good. I was wondering how long it would take you. Alright. Yeah, seriously, don't listen to what anyone else says, especially Yuri. Just keep writing poems like this, that's all you need. Are you sure that's not what you want? Excuse me? You're talking to a pro, you know. Don't you think you should trust my opinion the most? I guess that depends. Aren't you biased towards poems that are more simple and cute? Biased? Of course not. My opinion just happens to be the best. There's one thing I still can't tell. Is Natsuki actually self-aware of her spoiled brat behavior? At this rate, I don't know if I'll ever figure it out. Fair enough. I'm glad that you like my poem after all. Aha! I knew you'd finally understand. Just keep showing me your poems and you'll be a pro before you know it. Anyway, here's the one I wrote. I'll be your beach. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminished your wonder over the years. But today, I have a special place, a beach for us to go. A shore reaching beyond your sight, a sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way you thought you had left you long ago. It sounds like a song. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand, bathe in sunbeams and hold my hand. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea and let me see you shine. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail, set you in a free and windy sail, and remember the reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way that you thought you had left you long ago. But if you let me by your side, your own beach, your own escape, you'll learn to love yourself again. Oh, how sweet. Yeah, I felt like I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kind of hard to write anything negative about the beach. Well, Yuri's take on it was a little more solemn. Well, that's, gee, she better not have said anything bad about mine. After all, she was the one who wanted us to write about the same topic. Oh, you could really see her doing that, too. Making us write about a simple topic and then trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical, too. But there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it was good practice. Alright. Monica. Bosley Fred cheered and said waifu Natsuki is very insightful. Hi Phil-sama, have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people? I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure, but whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Aha! Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure, I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. I like it, Phil-sama. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Aha! Oh, geez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. Ah, If you say so. Yep. Any chits that you have, you've read anything by Shel Silverstein? Maybe a long time ago. He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad, and sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright.